All right, guys. If you saw last week's Tuesday morning tech tip, I mentioned about the ride home, some things we found, and I promised you guys to let you know all about it. So, since you guys made it back, we'll do that. And I'll even throw in some comments about the garage hang from last week, which was a great time and something that you just need to do sometimes, right? So, with that in mind, here's your Tuesday morning tech tip from Pugliese Speed Shop.
I just don't want it to hit the neck. And it's gonna work without hitting the neck. One sec. Okay. Bring it to you.
Put her down.
Yeah.
Ish.
Okay. Easy there, turbo.
That's why I bought the new. You have the clearance on the back of the tailgate there?
So far, so good. Hot dang. Look at that. Just like it was supposed to be that way.
Like all this stuff was meant to do exactly this.
That's crazy.
Now you have There you go, guys. She's offloaded safe and sound, and we're going to move her into the back shop because if you see in the car, we got some work to do before we're even worried about her. So, it's all about the safekeeping right now. Old Wade is shot over to his pad, and I'd say he's unloading his treasures, but he mentioned a nap or something and getting to it when he gets to it, which I totally get. Usually, when me and Old Wade go on a road trip, we're usually on the bikes, but unless I'm riding a Boss Hoss or whatever, if you're into that kind of thing, we're not getting a small block back here without a truck. So that's how that goes. And I was just riding shotgun, and I was a little bit tired. I can imagine. It's a lot of windshield time, and you're thinking about things the whole time, and all you want to do is get home. You get home, you want to take a nap. Is that just me? Could be just me, but I don't think so. What I want to do is I want to talk to you guys about it, because guys, we saw all sorts of cool stuff on the way home, and unfortunately, we didn't record a whole lot of it, or pretty much hardly anything. And sometimes that's just how it goes. You got to live in the moment. But I'm going to tell you about it. So let's sit down and we can talk about it. All right, guys. I promised a few things, right? Let me see if I can remember back to what they were. I think first and foremost, I said I would share all the stuff I kind of teased you with a little bit during last week's tech tip. And that was the ride home and all the stuff we might have found and all that kind of thing, right? So, what we did, well, Kevin mentioned we were down there for a motorcycle event. Now, whether or not we had motorcycles with us, that's not a problem. Don't worry about that. Well, we dropped Kevin off, and he was over there setting up. Old Wade got on the old cellular device and was looking at Marketplace. And he was smart, little thinker, that guy. He was looking at Marketplace between where we were and with Newport, North Carolina, up to Mechanicsville, Maryland, and see what he can find, right? You guys know he's a road captain. That's what he does. He knows what's on that straight line. He found an AOD transmission for like $100, and apparently it's legit. And so he said, well, let me hit this guy up, because he was looking for a core. He wants to put a 4-speed in his truck rather than a 3-speed, so that's the way to do it. So he sees it comes out of an 89.50, He's got a 302 in his truck. So well, let's go check it out. Right where he's like, hey man, let me hit this guy up. So he does. Says, can we see what's up? He says, sure. And it's no kidding on the way. So the next morning from when you saw us in the video, we grabbed some breakfast and we headed out. We met that guy that morning. Super good dude, right? Lived in this nice little neighborhood. And he had 2 shops behind his house, which got our attention. And he opens the bigger shop, or the taller shop, I should say. He's got a huge lift in there. And he's got a 5-liter convertible, right? I think it was an 89 that he's stripping down for parts. So I said, okay, cool. And there's a transmission. We loaded. He had a motor in it, had aluminum heads, and a bunch of work done. That's why he bought the car, because other than that, it wasn't really, I think it was just parted out. So we get to talking, as car guys do, and he says, hey, let me show you something out back. I said, okay. So he had this one bay shop, and then I noticed that one had, what do you call those things? I need to get one in here. Mini split. It had a mini split in it, and it was set up nice. I said, this is where he does all his work, right? It was pretty obvious. We go next to it, I think it was a 4-bay garage, and then a lean-to on the back of that. So I was like, okay. So he takes us to the lean-to. This guy. In the lean-to, 93 Mustang Cobra. Black, beautiful car. The motor was out of it. It was in the shop he's working on. He says, yeah, I think he's putting those heads from the convertible on that motor. And so we look at that. Just original car, absolutely beautiful. And then I notice there's a notch back there as well that he was kind of telling us about. One owner car. He got it. He knew the woman that owned it. Unfortunately, she got older and passed. And before she did pass away, he bought the car from her. It was a 4-cylinder automatic, so kind of lame. But that was it was a 93. They were all 93s, if I'm not mistaken. Now, the convertible was an 89. Either way, it was a 93 notch. And it was really a nice blue. And he said it was repainted at one point, and that was it. Interior was real nice. He gutted the 4-cylinder and the automatic. And I did see a Coyote motor in that working garage, so I think we know what's going on there. He kind of told us. So then he's like, oh, well, I'll bring you inside the garage. So what I'm thinking back there, if he's got a 93 Cobra and a beautiful notchback sitting back here, what's he got inside this thing, right? This is going to be amazing. Opens the door, mint condition OBS Chevy truck. It was a 4-wheel drive, extended cab, white. The truck was just like it just rolled off the showroom floor, guys. I'd never seen one this clean. I was like, my God. And we walk around that, and as I get around that, I see 1, 2, 3 notchback 5.0s. A black one, a white one, and not the Calypso, but it's, what is that reef green. Oh, God. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me, right? So each one of them had a bunch of work done in different ways, right? Like, none of them were built the same. And I think they were all black interior cars, which is super dope. And yeah, that's Wade said it in all the 93 notchbacks, all the 93s, because even like I said, the Cobra. I've mentioned it a couple times on the channel. I know I mentioned it during the garage hang. I am on the hunt for a 5-liter, guys. I had my 90 back in the late 90s. I had a 90, and I loved that car. It was the most fun car I've ever owned. I've mentioned that a bunch. And I want another one, right? I think I said, that happens. You miss your 20s, right? So and side story, of course, when I got that 5-liter, I was looking all over. I was stationed in San Diego. I was looking everywhere. Everyone was clapped out. It wasn't, the prices weren't crazy back then, but they were beat, man, especially on the highways in California. Just had millions of miles on them, and it's sun-baked paint and everything else. So I was talking to my dad, and he found a few of them. He tried to talk me into them. One specifically, but after the whole Dodge Neon fiasco, I was hip to his sales tactics. Now here I am older, and I wish I would have bought that one because I probably would have held on to it. It was a 5-speed. It was a notchback. It was a Calypso notchback 5-speed highway patrol car. And so it was already tuned up, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Probably, and I think I got it for $3,500. He had a couple of them that went to auction, bought them for his dealership or whatever. He tried to convince me to buy them, but all he had was notchbacks, and I was hell-bent on a hatchback LX. So he actually found mine for me in PA and shipped it out to California. Way less miles, no sunbake. It was a nice car. So now it's funny because I'm looking for a notchback, right? And of course, those were like, yeah, that's what everybody wants. So when you find them, the prices are more than you want to spend, or they're 4 cylinders, or they're beat up. That's kind of what I'm finding. There's a couple possibilities out there, and I'm going to leave it at that because I don't know what's going to happen. I would have loved to buy that reef car off of him, but he had already sold it and bought it back. He ain't letting go again, right? So talked with him for a while. Great dude. We took off out of there, got some go-go juice, and got on the road. So we're driving along, and old Wade's like a little hungry, and I'm like, I'm with you. So I mentioned last time how he would find somewhere to eat. So now he's putting it on me. He's like, here you go, you're in the passenger seat. So I got my phone up, and I'm messing with it, and I said, Whataburger? Huh? And he's like, dude, we're in Petersburg, Virginia, not Petersburg, Texas. Like, there ain't no damn Whataburger. And I was like, I'm telling you what I'm looking at. He was like, all right, let's go. 9 miles away. We go. We almost drive right past it because we're looking for this sign. And that's not what's there. Instead, there was this sign. Apparently, it said a 50s style chain. And I was like, okay. Well, it was, but Virginia apparently had a different one. And it was kind of the wish.com version because it was what/burger. I was like, we almost drove right past it because we had our eyes on something else. And I'll tell you that in a second. But we pull in, and I think I put a short up or whatever, but the bathroom's in the parking lot. It's a greasy spoon like you read about, but everybody's coming and going. All the locals, right? All the construction workers, and then like some mechanics come in. Some dude driving a Maserati, all like dressed nice, rolls in. I was like, bro, this is the spot. And it was a damn good burger. I'm so glad that I actually, it was. If you're in Petersburg, Virginia, or anywhere around Richmond area, I think there's a couple of them because they said it's a chain, and I saw 2, so there's at least 2. You're gonna want to check that out. All right, it is awesome. So we leave out of there, and we double back to find what we had seen earlier. I'll get there. Davis Auto Sales. The one side of the street's all trucks and rollbacks and like your big heavy truck stuff, it looks like, right? Across the street, 3 tiers high, is this glass doors at this warehouse. The first tier was a lifted 70 Monte Carlo on like a Blazer chassis or something. Below that was a C2 Corvette, and then below that was like a Chevelle, and then like there was a Lamborghini, there was some hot rods, like old rat rods. There was I think it was an Impala or something, a Bel Air, Biscayne, something. Guys, it was. I'm like, what the heck? So it caught my eye. So we almost drove past the Whataburger. Plus, we were looking for a different sign. But so they were close. But we got on their website and they're pretty proud of some of their stuff, but probably rightfully so. So we might take a trip. It's only 2.5, 3 hours from here. So we may take a trip down there again and grab an awesome burger and check out that spot. You know, why not? And, well, then we got back here. I don't think anything else happened between here and there. And unloaded the motor, which you've already seen. And, well, that kind of takes us to now. But it proves my point as to get off the beaten path. Try something. Like, we were like, we're going to try something. Like, there was a Red Robin. There was a McDonald's. There was this, that. There was all sorts of stuff. You got a Richmond, like Richmond proper, you know. There was a lot. They're really cleaning that area up. So, you know, they've been like revitalizing these cities. So there was a lot of really trendy places to eat, right? We were in the outskirts of that. So let's just say it didn't look so cleaned up, which I ain't mad about because that place was awesome, guys. So, yeah, like I was saying last week, I'm kind of rehashing that. Look around, guys. You know what I'm saying? Get off of there and check it out. And, you know, we would have stayed on 95 and just whatever. Yeah, we would have stopped at, you know, Red Robin or so. I don't know. We would have stopped somewhere and it wouldn't have been as good. We wouldn't have seen that place, all the hot rods. And, well, this would be a totally different Tuesday morning tech tip. Was there anything else that I promised you? I don't think so. If I did, well, I guess we'll mention it next week. Thanks for watching, guys.